All right, it's time. Let's put a stop to cold email prospecting, lead generation. Let's put a stop to cold emails. Seriously. You can just, as of right now, as of today, I'm going to declare cold emails is a dead strategy. Let's dive into today's episode.
These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough.
All right, so before we get into the death of cold email, let's talk about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor, as it is every day, is yours truly, me, that's right. And today I want you to check out the Launch Your Client Business mini course. Man, if you haven't been through this yet, it's it lays the entire foundation. I don't care if you have a client business that's existed for years or if you are brand new and haven't gotten your first client yet. This is the foundation for client business success, for bringing clients in the door. And it's all in the free mini course, the Launch Your Client Business mini course. So check the link in the description to launch your client business, and let's dive into the death of cold email. All right. So there's been a lot of talk recently. I don't know. It feels like there's talk about this all the time, that cold email doesn't work. It's not a great strategy. It's, whatever. And often it doesn't work. Often cold emails don't work. At least not the way that most people do it. Cold emails don't work the way that most people do it because, it's cold and they're doing it wrong. So why does cold email suck? Well, it comes down to the difference between a request for a first date and a marriage proposal. Okay, hear me out. Most cold emails are basically marriage proposals to strangers. And, we can loop in cold DMs, cold social media. I don't care about the medium that you're using. It could be a cold call. I don't care about the medium that you're using. This cold approach is like asking a stranger to marry you. And if you were asked by a stranger to get married, I'm guessing that stranger would get a no. Even if they seemed exceptional on the surface, if the rational part of your brain kicked in, you would think anybody that asked for marriage on the first date without knowing really who, or asked for marriage before even having a date, who doesn't know me at all, before getting to know me, that person is not sane. That person does not know that I would be a good fit for them. They don't know that they would be a good fit for me. And it would probably lead to misery in the end if I said yes, right? And yet, most people approach this cold email practice as making marriage proposals to strangers. Hey, this is what my agency does, and we provide this service, and we work with lots of clients in this industry, and because you're in that industry, I thought that you might want to hire us. Oh, geez. No, thank you. Nope. I'm not interested. Thank you. I don't want to get married. I don't know you. Goodbye. And yet that's how most people approach cold emailing. The thing is, if you wanted to connect with someone, you would actually need to connect with them first. So this is the whole first dates thing, right? A first date request, usually it comes from there is initially a conversation. There is a little bit of a back and forth banter to see if there's some kind of chemistry, right? And then, let's have a pretty simple first date, first connection. Let's go have coffee, right? Let's go have coffee. Let's connect over coffee. We'll have a conversation. We'll see how well we get along. And then a relationship starts to form, and there might be other dates, etc. The relationship develops. And then once the relationship develops to the point where both people are interested in taking it to the next level, then there is engagement, marriage, all of that stuff, right? So that is the natural progression of a relationship. And yet cold email is, hey, you want to get married on first date or before we even have a first date? No, sorry. That doesn't make sense. So what do we do instead? We need to send a personal email. There is huge power in the personal email. This is very different from the cold email. And so what is a personal email? A personal email is an email, or again, media doesn't matter. It could be a call, it could be a DM through whatever social media platform, it could be whatever, right? It's written for one person. It is explicitly written for one person. It is based on some level of understanding of them. So you need to do your homework. You need to do your research. You need to know who it is that you're reaching out to. And that's more than just their title on LinkedIn, right? It is not written, a personal email is not written as a marriage proposal. It's not, hey, we should work together. Would you like to hire me? Would you like to become my client? That's not what it is. It's not a marriage proposal. And a personal email, okay, so if it's not a marriage proposal, what is it? It's a bid to connect. It is a bid to connect with the person, to initiate a conversation. And from that conversation, then it might lead to a selling conversation, right? It might start with just a conversation, a human-to-human conversation, and then it leads to a selling conversation. Now you might think, oh, Roy, okay, so you're still talking about emailing strangers, talking about emailing people who don't know you. You just put a fancy new name on it. So there's cold email, there's personal email. It's just semantics. You're using different words for the same thing. But the reality is that this is more than semantics. It is an entire mindset shift and new perspective on email. If you're going to send a personal email to someone, that feels very different than you're going to send a cold email to this email address that might be a prospect, right? It feels very different. And it feels very different because you think about personal emails in a different way than you think about cold emails. The focus of a personal email is on quality of connection, right? It's hey, I'm sending this personal email because I want to have a good connection with this person. You send a cold email because you figure out whatever quantity you need to send of this thing so that you get response. And so cold emails are all about just send out your marriage proposals to as many people as possible, and hopefully someone will say, I do. The personal email is, hey, that's someone who I'd really like to connect with and get to know better. And maybe if it's a fit, we could do something together. And so it's all about that quality of that connection. And so personal emails are not a numbers game either. That's a huge transformation between just cold emailing, just getting a huge list of leads and cold emailing, versus saying, hey, I'm going to send out personal emails to people who I think that I would really like to work with. And when I've taught things like the Dream 100 strategy, that's what I'm doing, because I'm deciding a very short list of the people who I would most like to work with. And I'm getting their contact information, and I'm reaching out, and I'm focusing on creating a quality connection first. And then we have a sales conversation eventually, if it feels like a fit. So let's break this down. If you're going to use this personal email strategy, what does strategic personal email lead generation look like? If it's not like blast out a million cold emails, what does this look like? Well, number one, you need a plan. You need a plan for who you're going to talk to. And you need a plan for what you're going to say and how you want that conversation to progress. So, to carry on that dating strategy, or that dating metaphor for just a minute, you might, let's say you see someone across the room that is interesting to you, of opposite sex, same sex, whatever. I don't care. Somebody that you're interested in, that you would want to date. And you yell across the room, hey, I like you. You want to get married? That's cold email, right? Alternatively, you think, that person looks very interesting to me. I would like to go have a conversation with that person. And if the conversation goes well, I would like to invite them to reconnect. And so I would suggest that maybe we could go out for coffee at another time. And so if that happens, if they say yes, then of course I'm going to need their contact information and we can go out for coffee. And if that goes well, I could plan to maybe suggest dinner or some other activity. And then if it continues to go well, we can explore whatever that relationship might look like going forward. So that's a plan of a personal connection versus, hey, you want to get married? Which of course doesn't create any real connection. So you need this plan. You plan how to start the conversation. You plan how to propose the, first date. You plan how to continue to build the relationship, right? And you plan like when and how you're going to ask to take it to the next level. And there is a process for doing that in terms of prospecting for client work. And in fact, that's what I teach inside my Launch Your Client Business free mini course. So if you want a much deeper process and plan for how you might use personal emails. Now, this distinction between cold email and personal email is maybe one that I didn't use in there, but absolutely the fundamental strategy is the same and consistent with what I taught. So in that Launch Your Client Business mini course, it actually walks through what that process might look like. You send a personal email to someone, you start a conversation, you decide, okay, it's worth continuing this conversation, building this relationship, and then I'm going to have a conversation with them about what the relationship could look like in terms of client relationship, right? And it's all there. So check out the link in the description. If you haven't been through it, it's a great course, and I don't think it's just me that's saying that based on the feedback that I've gotten. So I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And hey, cold email's dead. Stop sending cold emails. If you want to reach out to prospects who don't know you, who are complete strangers, think about it instead as sending a personal email and fostering a quality connection with that person. And what you're going to find is that you're going to have higher quality client relationships. Those client relationships will justify higher fees. You'll be able to earn more. And you're going to have to spend way less time like sending out these emails because your conversion rate on the conversations, the personal conversations that you have with these people is going to be so much higher. I don't get these cold emails that have just like single digit conversion rates or like, I don't get that. Like, why would you ever do that when you can have, frankly, like it is very rare that I don't close a client that I choose to go after. And that's been the case for a very long time for me because this is the approach that I've used consistently. So go out there, try it. Let me know how it works. Like I said, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And with every episode, every day, I'm here trying to help you increase your marketing genius. One episode, one tip, one recommendation, one breakthrough at a time. And if you apply this, man, you're going to look like a freaking genius when all those clients start wanting to work with you. I'll catch you again in the next episode.
Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.